Welcome back to biology class. We are discussing the chapter animal tissue. In our previous class, we discussed about connective tissue, where we learnt about supportive connective tissue, fluid connective tissue, and fibrous connective tissue. Before we start today's topic, just have a look at this. Children, look at this worm and notice its movement carefully. See, the body of this worm is continuously contracting, relaxing, again contracting, relaxing, and this process continues. This facilitates the movement of the worm. Carefully notice the contraction and relaxation in the body of the worm. So, movement in the worm was facilitated by the contraction and relaxation of its body. Now, even we can walk, we can run. So, what is facilitating that movement in our body? Well, we have a special tissue in our body called muscular tissue, which help in movement of our body. So, students, this is our topic for today: muscular tissue. Muscular tissue is a specialized tissue found in animals which functions by contracting and relaxing, thereby applying forces to different parts of the body. Muscular tissue consists of cells of elongated shape known as muscle fibers. Each muscle cell has contractile protein, actin and myosin, which facilitates in shortening and elongation of cells. There are three major types of muscular tissues in human body on the basis of location, function and structure. These are striated muscles, unstriated muscles and cardiac muscles. First of all, let us discuss nature and structure of striated muscles. They have long, cylindrical, unbranched fibers. They have multinucleate cells. The muscle fibers have dark and light bands on them. That is why they are known as striated muscles. As these muscles are attached to skeleton, they are also known as skeletal muscles. Location. These muscles are found in those organs where voluntary movement exists, such as legs, arms, neck, and back. So they are also called voluntary muscles. Unstriated muscles. These muscles display no striations. They have spindle-shaped cells and have a single nucleus. They are smooth in appearance, so they are also called smooth muscles. We cannot control the movement of these muscles according to our will, so they are also called involuntary muscles. Location. They are found in internal organs such as blood vessels, alimentary canal, uterus, and urinary bladder. Cardiac muscles. The cells of cardiac muscles are also striated. The cells comprise a single nucleus and they are often branched. The individual cardiac cells are connected via desmosomes and gap junctions. Desmosomes and gap junctions are cellular connections. Under microscope, these cellular connections can be seen as intercalated discs. These cellular junctions are responsible for the coordinated beating of the heart. The cardiac muscles can be found in the heart. So for the better understanding of the topic, let us watch this video.
Muscular tissue. As the name says, muscular means made up of muscles. The cells of this tissue are elongated and contain contractile proteins. Now what could that be? Well, when we say movement, it means the muscles themselves have to perform contraction and relaxation, right? So for this, the cells have proteins like actin and myosin, which themselves contract or relax, thus enabling the muscles to do the same. With this, does this mean that the tissue will not have types? Because all muscles are the same, right? Well, actually not. Muscles come in various types depending on their functions. So are we trying to say that muscles in our stomach are different from those in our biceps? Of course they are. The fact that both serve different functions itself suggests that their structure and nature is going to be different. So what are the various types of muscular tissue? Well, for simplicity of understanding, we divide them into three major categories: striated muscles, smooth muscles, and cardiac muscles. Let's have a look at each type. The first one is called striated muscles. Now, as the name suggests, striated means when we stain this tissue and observe it under the microscope, then it exhibits striations in the form of alternate light and dark bands. Where do we find this type, by the way? We find these striated muscles attached to the bones. Hence, they are also named as the skeletal muscles. Also, when we say attached to the skeleton, it means they help in movement of our hands and legs along with locomotion. So can we say that their action is carried out according to our will? Absolutely. And that is the reason why we also call them the voluntary muscles. Thus, striated muscles are called as skeletal muscles and voluntary muscles as well. These are found to have a typical cylindrical structure due to wrapping of the long muscle fibers together. These are usually unbranched and multinucleate in nature. On similar lines, we have the next type, that is the smooth muscles. These are also called as unstriated and involuntary. Now we can guess their structure and nature from the names itself. Smooth or unstriated because they do not present a banding pattern like the striated ones when stained and observed under a microscope. Instead, they have long spindle-shaped uninucleate cells. And why involuntary? Yes, because their activities are not under our control. So what could be their location now? Well, we find smooth muscles in the stomach, in the bronchi, in the uterus, and also in the iris of eyes. Now let's take a look at the last type, that is the cardiac muscles. Again, the name is enough for us to state its function and location. These muscles are those found in the heart. So the rhythmic contraction and relaxation of our heart, or the working of our heart, is all because of these cardiac muscles. Although they are involuntary in activity, their structure is like that of striated muscles partially. They are cylindrical and branched, but uninucleate in nature. These muscles perform rhythmic contraction and relaxation tirelessly throughout our life. Well, this was about the three major types of muscular tissues: the striated, smooth, and cardiac.
So we learned that cardiac muscles contract and relax tirelessly throughout our life. Tell me one thing, why cardiac muscles never get tired? Well, we will discuss about this in our virtual class. So today in this lesson, we learned about muscular tissue, where we learned about striated muscles, unstriated muscles, and cardiac muscles. I hope you have understood and enjoyed today's topic. I'll be back with another interesting topic soon. Till then, stay safe.